Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English for another free English grammar lesson for you all. Today, as you can see on the screen, we are going to look at how to spell the ing verbs. Okay, so we're going to look at the forms of the ing verbs and, most importantly, how to spell them. There are a few rules and exceptions for this. So let's start. So first of all, what is the ing verb used for? Well, there are two or three main uses of the ing verb. The first one is for verbs. All progressive verb tenses use the ing form. So let's have a look at the three examples. So it is used in the present progressive. So an example is I am walking. So this is the ing verb here, walking. It's also used in the past progressive. They were driving. And also in the future progressive, we will be arriving soon. So arriving, this is the ing form. Okay, so the ing verb is also used as a gerund. Now a gerund is just a word that we use to describe verbs that are used as a noun. Let's have a look at some examples. So if we say, I hate cleaning, we can see that cleaning is in fact being used as a noun here. In fact, it is the object of the verb I hate. I hate, what do I hate? I hate cleaning. So cleaning is in fact a verb. Strictly speaking, it is a verb, but we are using it as a noun. So that is called a gerund, and the verb takes the ing form. Another example would be watching films is my favorite hobby. Okay, and this time the word watching, so it's the verb watching, but it's being used as a noun, and in this case it is being used as the subject to the verb films. So what do I film? Watching films is my favorite hobby. So this is the subject. Another example of using the ing verbs is sometimes we use them as an adjective. So what is an adjective? Well, an adjective is a word that describes a noun. So, for example, I have a long working day. So, day is the noun, and it is the object of the verb I have. So, I have a long day. What type of day is it? Well, it's a working day. So this is the word working here is an adjective, even though it's a verb. So it's a verb being used as an adjective. And so you can see all progressive tenses, gerunds, and being used in some cases as an adjective. That's a lot of uses. Okay. So the conclusion here is that we use the ing verb a lot. So it is and these three examples here, this isn't exhaustive. This is not all the uses. There are many other uses of the ing verb. There are many, many, many uses of the ing verb in English. That is why this lesson is so important. It is important that we know how to spell this part. Okay, everything in red we need to know how to spell it. There are lots there are a few rules and quite a few exceptions of how we need to spell this part in red. So let's start. So we'll start off with the easy one. Most verbs, so most regular verbs, we simply add ing to the infinitive. We add ing to the base verb. Example. So the verb carry becomes carrying, ing. Sing, we say singing, and drink, drinking. So quite easy, just add ing to the end of the verb. So verbs that end in a silent E, we delete the E, so we remove the letter E and we add ing. For example, write with an E at the end, so this E is silent, we don't hear the letter E, and when we want to create the ing form, we remove the E and then we add ing. So you can see there's no letter E here, the E has been deleted. Observe, observing. Explode, exploding. Verbs ending in the letters IE. This is a slightly different rule. This time we change the IE to Y and then we add ing. So we go from die becomes dying and tie becomes tying. So we can see here, this is the IE. We remove the IE, we change it to a Y, and then we add ing. Verbs ending in EE. This is easy again, we just add the letters ing. So see becomes seeing and free becomes freeing. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So verbs that end in a single vowel and then a single consonant, except W, X and Y, if it is a single syllable verb, so if the verb just has one syllable, just one sound, then we double the consonant and then we add ing. Example. Run becomes running and we double the N, so we add the N and then we add ing. Sit becomes sitting, we double the T, and cut becomes cutting, we double the letter T. So here we say verbs ending in a single vowel. Well, here the single vowel is the letter U. There's just one vowel at the end. And the single consonant is the letter N. And it isn't a letter W, X or Y. So we follow this rule here. So we double the letter N and we add ing. Here we say except W, X or Y. So if it was a verb ending in a single vowel and a single letter W, for example, then we just add ing. We do not double the consonant. An example would be the verb row, R-O-W, like to row a boat. There the ing would be rowing, and it would be a single letter W, R-O-W-I-N-G. Now, a similar rule, again, verbs ending in a single vowel and a single consonant, except W, X and Y. But this time, the verbs we are looking at have two syllables, so they have two parts, two sounds to the verb. So the rules are slightly different here. If the second syllable is stressed. What do we mean by stressed? Well, if a syllable is stressed, then the sound, that syllable is stronger. So we hear that syllable longer than a syllable which is not stressed. So if the second syllable is stressed, we double the consonant and we add ing. Example. Admit becomes admitting. So we double the consonant, we double the letter T, and we add ing. Commit becomes committing. We add a letter T, we double the letter T, and we add ing. So it's important that you hear that the second syllable is stressed. So for example, we say admit. We don't say admit. Can you hear it? It's the second, it's the mit. The first syllable is ad, and the second one is mit. But we hear mit much more. Mit is stronger than ad. So we say admit. And it's the same with commit. Commit has two syllables, com and mit. But we say mit much stronger than com. We say commit. We don't say commit. We say commit. So the rule is the second syllable is stressed. Okay. There is a single vowel at the end, the letter I, and a single consonant, the letter T. Two syllables, com, it, and the second syllable is stressed, mit. So we double the consonant, we double the letter T, and we add ing. If the second syllable is not stressed, we just add ing. So when I say if it is not stressed, that could either mean we stress the first syllable, or it could mean that both syllables have an equal amount of stress. So we stress, there is no stress of either syllable. Both syllables have the same sound. So, for example, here we have a single vowel at the end, single consonant at the end. We have two syllables, ta, get. and both syllables are equal. Target. Or in fact it's the first syllable, if you listen carefully, it's the first syllable which is stressed slightly stronger than the second syllable. We say, I target. We don't say target. Target. We don't say that, we say target. So it is, the second syllable is not stressed, it is the first syllable. So we just add ing. Ing. We do not double the consonant. And it's the same here, visit. So we say I visit, we don't say visit. So the second syllable is not stressed. We do not double the T. We just add ing. A question I often receive from students is, well, how do I know which syllable is stressed in a word? Well, unfortunately, the only answer I have for you is it is just coming from learning and experience. Okay, it's something you have to learn, I'm afraid. Which verbs, how to pronounce particular verbs. Okay, I'll try to do a lesson on it. I'll perhaps do a lesson on this subject, maybe next week, to identify which verbs have the second syllable stressed and which ones do not. Now, there is an exception for when the consonant at the end is the letter L. This is a letter L here. It's not very clear maybe. It's a letter L. So if this single consonant at the end, if this is a letter L, then there is an exception to these two rules here. So let's have a look. Well, the exception is in British English. Okay, so this exception for verbs ending in L with a single vowel before it and with two syllables, this is only for British English. So in British English, in this case, we always double the L and then we add ing. So in this case, we do not care about which syllable is stressed or not stressed. We don't care. We just double the letter L every time and we add ing. So in British English you will see cancel. It's two syllable verb, single vowel at the end, single consonant. It's a letter L, so we double the letter L and we add ing. And it's the same for travel. Travel, we double the L and we add ing. But for American English, for verbs ending in L, we ignore this exception. This exception does not exist in American English. In American English, we use this normal rule. We use the normal rule, so you have to analyze which syllable is being stressed. Is it the second syllable? If it is, then we double the consonant and we add ing. And if the second syllable is not stressed, we just add ing after the letter L. That's it. So that is American English. So for American English, we ignore this exception. Example. So in American English, the verb cancel, if we listen to it, we say cancel. So the first syllable is stressed, so we just add ing. we do not double the letter L. So cancel is cancelling, ing. And it's the same for the word travel. Travel with a single L, travelling. So you can see this gives us some differences between British English and American English. Okay. So that is why you will sometimes see the word, if you see the word cancelling with double L, the document or the source of the word is British English. And finally, verbs that end in a letter C. Okay, we add king to the verb, to the infinitive. So we have panic becomes panicking, king, and mimic becomes mimicking. Alright, so that is the end of all the rules and exceptions. It might look a little bit intimidating. There are quite a few rules and exceptions, but let me tell you, most of them are quite easy. Most cases you will see, you will just add ing, in fact. Okay, that is probably 90% of the verbs are in fact regular. So do not worry too much. But it is important to know these rules, particularly when you are writing, because when you are speaking, when you're pronouncing them, it's the same. You're just saying ing at the end. But it's really important when you're writing. So we're going to finish with some exercises for you. There are 8 questions here for you to do, and I'm going to ask you to put the following verbs in the correct ing form. So, an example, the verb fit, the answer would be fitting. Okay, so now I'm going to give you 8 questions. I will display the question first, and then there will be 10 seconds for you before the answer appears in red. So if 10 seconds is not long enough for you, you can pause the video before the answer appears. Okay? So you'll probably need some pen and paper. Okay, so let's start. Question 1. Dreaming. So this is just a regular verb, and so we just add ing at the end. Question 2. Trafficking. The verb ends in C, so we add king to the end. Question 3. Gambling. Gamble at the end has a silent E. It has a letter E that we do not hear. And so we delete the letter E, and then we add ing. Question 4. Lie becomes lying. The verb ends in the letters I and E, so we change the IE to Y, and then we add ing. Question 5. Preferring. So the verb ends in a single vowel, a single consonant, which is not a letter W, X or Y. There are 2 syllables, and the second syllable is stressed. So we say prefer. We don't say prefer. We say prefer. So that means we have to double the consonant. We have to double the letter R, and then we add ing. So we have double R, ing, preferring. Question 6. Stop becomes stopping. We have a 1 syllable word with a single vowel and a single consonant at the end. So that means we have to double the letter P and add ing. Label becomes labeling, and we are saying this is British English, so it ends in a letter L. It's 2 syllables. There's a single vowel and a single consonant at the end. We're in British English, so we double the letter L and we add ing. And the last one is just a regular verb. Eat becomes eating. We just add the letters ing. There are no exceptions to that. So that is it. That is, if you got some of these wrong, then I suggest you go back and you watch the video a second time, and you go to the section where the rule or exception was explained, so that you revise it. Okay? So that is the end of my lesson. So as always, please subscribe if you enjoy this lesson and you would like some more. I'm adding maybe 2 to 3 lessons every week. Click on like if you liked it, and leave a comment below. Leave a question, or if you'd like to say you know, what you liked, what you do not like about the video, about my videos. Yes, so ask any questions and I will always answer them. Alright, this is the end of the lesson. Thanks very much. Bye bye.